representing injured people. Tessie, I got the schedule of blood drives that are coming up. Man, you guys are going to be all over Indiana County in the next month or two, huh?
We are. And I have to say, Indiana County is one of our strongest counties, as far as our chapter, and even looking over to our west towards Allegheny County. Indiana County has always, they're rock stars when it comes to the blood donations.
Yeah.
Every time I talk to our blood donor ambassador, I'm like, so what do you need? And she's like, we're good. And I'm like, all right. So she makes it easy for the rest of us because the folks here are just so generous with coming out and supporting the blood drives. And as you said, it's always critical. It's always urgent.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you can never have enough. And as we talked about last time I was on, with the shelf life, it can't last forever. But yeah, Indiana County, you guys, like I said, I'm always just so impressed and so proud to be able to talk about the blood donors, among other things here in Indiana County.
And one of the great things about what you do with the Red Cross is you give people the opportunity to just find a blood drive near them. Just go to redcrossblood.org.
Absolutely.
You can enter it by zip code, and it'll show you everything within, 25 miles if you want, or you can even expand it beyond that.
You can go as far or as close as you want. And they're all over the county. And, I think that's what's important is making it so it's convenient.
Yeah.
So you can hit it before work, after work, and just be able to do it on your own time. And it's just one of those things that it truly is amazing. When you donate, you could save up to 3 lives. What else can you do in an hour that could truly
Sure.
make a difference in someone's life?
And
So.
in the pandemic, it has been especially difficult to get these things scheduled. Somehow, Red Cross has managed to come through and make these scheduled so that people can come out, they can very safely give blood, and it's getting even better now because things are easing up a bit with the pandemic, and so proper precautions are still being taken.
Absolutely.
And people can give blood knowing with full confidence that they're going to be okay and that they're helping people.
Absolutely. It's just an amazing process. And, I'm so proud of this county, proud of the donors, and just proud of what I get to do every day to be a little part of it.
But Red Cross blood services are just not a small part, but they're just a part of what Red Cross does. You folks are everywhere in another way, too. You've got all kinds of things happening.
We do. And probably, I don't want to say the second biggest, I guess there's really no competition, but we're also known for disasters, big and small. And, the single family fire is the most common disaster that happens every 8 seconds. Somewhere in this country, someone is suffering from a family fire. And unfortunately, here in Pennsylvania, we've seen an increase. It's just all over the map with us. Some places are doubling and tripling the amount of fires that they saw from last year. Specifically here in Indiana County, we've pretty much stayed steady, which is a really good thing. Obviously, we don't want more fires. The alarming part for our chapter especially is we're seeing multifamily fires rise. So, instead of the one family, you're seeing 3, 4, 5 families. We've had a number of high-rise buildings in other counties. So I don't know what's leading to that trend. But it's, never been a better time to make sure you're prepared because it's just one of those things that we're seeing an increase in fires. And it's
Fire alarm rang 3 times in Indiana County yesterday. So 3 times firefighters were on the road.
Yeah.
This morning already we've had a major barn fire here in Indiana County. And Red Cross services, it's tempting to just add that on at the end of a news story. Red Cross is helping out. Define for us what that help is when the Red Cross responds to a fire and helps a family.
Absolutely. We are there to meet their immediate needs. We are making sure that you have a safe place to go right then and there, making sure you have food, making sure you have clothing. We always say, the first responders who are amazing, they're there to save lives, put out the structure fire, and save property. And then we're what's next. When those red lights pull away and you're standing there or a family standing there going, now what?
Yeah.
We're now what? So, we always say when everybody else is pulling away, Red Cross is pulling in. And we're making sure then that we stay with you. We don't just, give you a place to stay, give you, some food and clothes and say good luck. That would not be good. We'll stay with you for up to 45 days or longer. We have volunteer caseworkers check in every day, every other day. What do you need? Connect them to other organizations. So what most people don't see, you might see us on scene. And think, oh, Red Cross is here, Red Cross is helping. But the part that so often we don't talk about is what happens for the next 45, 50 days when Red Crossers are still calling and, saying, what do you need? How can we help? Until that family feels like they're on a pretty good road to recovery.
Yeah, and that is the thing. Recovery can take longer for some than for others. There are so many different circumstances that you have to respond to. The losses are going to be different for each family, but the bottom line is they need somebody.
They do.
And Red Cross is that somebody.
We are that somebody, and it's just one of the greatest feelings ever. And we're led by volunteers. Right now, we have 2 staff covering 4 counties, so obviously we couldn't do it. Without a team of 170 volunteers who are giving freely of their time, answering the phone at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 1 a.m., or 4 in the afternoon and saying, yeah, I'm going to go help someone today. So
yeah.
It's just, like I said, I'm so fortunate to be a part of it. And we rely on the volunteers because, again, I'm not out there at the fire scenes. I can be, but most of the time it's 2 or 3 volunteers. And that's, again, it's one of those things that just, you kind of go, wow.
Well, the Red Cross is in the business of meeting people's needs, but the Red Cross has needs as well. How can people help?
Volunteering, Indiana County through COVID. Actually, all the Red Cross has been not immune to the same things everyone else has seen, staffing shortages, and we consider volunteer staff. So we've seen a loss of volunteers just through deciding it was time to retire, or, for 2 years we haven't been permitted to be together. So it's been really tough. And starting tomorrow, April 1st, the Red Cross has loosened its COVID guidelines. So we will be coming back together as groups. So moving forward, we definitely need to see more volunteers, whether it is, we have 3 responders who respond to fires in Indiana County. So being such a large rural county, we could always use folks in that capacity. But we do so many other things that there's an opportunity for everyone.
Sure. What are some of those other things?
Of course, I can get involved and be on the other side of the blood, working as a blood donor ambassador, where you're greeting people and getting to thank them for coming in. We work with our military. We do casework for military, for our loved ones, if they're back home and they need to contact a serviceman or servicewoman. So there's things they can do with the military. And of course, in disaster, there's not just response. That's a big one, but there's preparedness. One of our big pushes is to try and go out and teach as many kids as we can on how to be prepared. One of the things we figured out is if we teach the kids how to be prepared, they go home and they tell their parents. And, we've had parents tell us where, the kids just would not stop talking until they found an evacuation place and ran a fire drill, which is what we teach them to do. So, that program is just taking off. That's a free program, so we can bring that to our schools, to daycares, all different groups up here and anywhere. And of course, we need people to teach those preparedness courses. So we give you all the skills and tools you need. But yeah, if you're a person who likes to go out and do presentations, we need people to just talk about the Red Cross in general and be that ambassador and be able to bring the community needs back to us.
Yeah. We do have a few minutes left here this morning. And Tessie, I want to make sure that if there's something else that I'm not thinking of, but you want to be sure people know about the Red Cross here in Indiana County, that you have that opportunity. What are some of the other things that you want to be sure people know?
Would be probably of course, I think I've made the 2 of 3 asks. We have, what we always hear, you want my blood, you want my time. And I guess the last one would be, of course, financial donation, because what we do has costs associated, and, the financial assistance we give to clients, which is part of that response when we help. And I was talking about shelter and clothing. That comes in the form of financial assistance. So we are completely reliant upon the public industry, businesses, other nonprofits, grant agencies, trusts, foundations, because we're not a government agency. So every dollar that we raise is 91 cents of that is given back out into our humanitarian services. So we're very proud of the fact that we've been able to do that because, we want to keep admin costs down so that folks know when they donate. And you can donate locally, you can donate nationally, you can donate any way you want. If you want it to stay in Indiana County, you can donate to Indiana County. You just have to make sure that you mark that. We usually just tell you to put it on the check. But we want to make sure that you know that, as much of your dollar goes back into the services we provide and is not going anywhere else. So we're very proud of that. And, so of course, there's like so many different ways, but, volunteering, donating blood, and of course, financial assistance, because again, those funds are how we operate and how we provide assistance to the people who need it.
If someone wants to write that check, how do they do that and designate it for Indiana County?
Just write Indiana County or local Red Cross, anything, or Chestnut Ridge chapter, and that earmarks it because we follow donor intent. And you can mail it locally to our office on Coulter Drive, which is 610 Coulter Drive, and here in Indiana, or you can call our main office, 724-834-6510, and we can do a credit card over the phone. You can also go online and donate. And then I believe, I haven't seen it lately, but I believe there's also options to text.
Tessie, we never want to have to call on the Red Cross, but we're certainly glad that when we do that you're there.
Thank you. It was great to be in here this morning. Thanks so much, Todd.
Thanks for coming in. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160. Coming up, Fox